Hi, boys and girls. Welcome back to reading class. So here we are back in reading class and ready to learn how to be even better readers. So today our target says, today I am looking, remembering, and reading. So we've done this a little bit on one of our previous lessons, but we're going to go back and we're going to use it even more today so that we can read an old favorite storybook. So that's our job for today. I will know I've got it when I can look, remember, and read an old favorite storybook. So I hope that you've had a chance to listen to the read aloud of the Three Billy Goats Gruff. And I also posted a video of the Three Billy Goats Gruff. So if you haven't had a chance to do that yet, you need to go back and listen to this read aloud that I did and listen to the video of the Three Billy Goats Gruff for today's lesson. All right, so let's look at where we are right now. So you have grown so much. How many of you have in your home a place where your mom and dad like to measure you to see how much you grow over weeks or months or years? Yeah, or when you go to the doctor, they always measure how much taller you have gotten. So you have grown so much as readers already, and we are only 2 weeks into this reading unit. So today we are going to add one more thing to your list of resources, to your list of things that you can read. So let's hop right to it. So if you go back to our target, today we are learning how to read an old favorite. So an old favorite storybook is a book that you have read over and over again, or you've heard that book over and over again. So you already know what happens in the story. Just like one of your favorite TV shows. Think about one of your favorite TV shows. I'm sure that you have watched it over and over and you know what happens. Or a movie. So same thing with a book. It is an old favorite storybook. We know this is a storybook because it has drawings instead of pictures, and it tells a story. It doesn't tell us facts, it tells a story. So this is a storybook, and this is an old favorite storybook because it's a book that we've heard over and over. So when we are making a book into an old favorite storybook, we have to remember what happens in the story. So we've heard it so many times that we already know what happens in the story. We have to use our retelling skills. So retelling means to tell it again and again. So think about your favorite movie, whether it's Frozen or Toy Story, any of those movies. You can tell someone else that hasn't seen it what happened in those stories. That is retelling. You say the words that you think should be on the page. So we're going to get to some words in this book, and you should know some words that would be on that page. And then if we can't remember, what is on that page, we have to study the pictures to help us remember. So let's get started. I am not going to read every single word on these pages. I am just thinking and retelling. Okay? So here we go. So I know that once upon a time, there were 3 Billy Goats Gruff. And then I know I can use my connecting words and then. And then they were very hungry, so they tried to go over the river. And then they seen a mean, ugly troll. And then the youngest or littlest Billy Goat went up to the troll. Now, I'm thinking that there is something that the troll always says here. And there's a sound that the Billy Goats make when they're going across the bridge. What was that sound? I have to think and remember. That's right, trip, trap, trip, trap. So I know that there are words on this page that say trip, trap, and then that helps me remember that the mean troll says, "Who's that tromping over my bridge?" Oh, it's only I, the smallest Billy Goat. You should really wait for my brother, the bigger Billy Goat. And then a little bit later, the second billy goat comes. There's those words that I know are in this text. It says, remember, he's crossing the bridge, so help me. What does he say? Trip, trap, who's that crossing over my bridge? Roared the troll. And then the little billy goat says, it's only I, the second billy goat. You should wait for my brother. He's much bigger. And then came the third billy goat gruff. And I know those words are there. Trip, trap, who's that stomping over my bridge? Oops. This is the page. Once I turn the page, this picture helps me to remember that this is the page where the troll says, who's that tramping over my bridge? Roared the troll. It is I, the big billy goat gruff, said the billy goat, and his voice was loud. And then, now I'm going to come and gobble you up. Well, come along, said the big billy goat. See what you can do. And then, up climbed the mean, ugly troll. But what happens here? I have to think about what is happening in my pictures here. Oh, now I remember. The big billy goat butted him with his horns and threw him into the air. He went over the bridge and into the water. And then the big billy goat went up the hillside to be with his brothers. And then they all ate and got fat. All right, so I did not read that book with the exact words. There were lots of words that I did know for sure, but a lot of them I didn't, and that's okay because this is your old favorite storybook. So you remember what happens, you use your retelling skills, say the words that you think are on the page, like the trip, trap, and study the picture to make sure that you are on the right words. Now, it is going to be your turn with one of your old favorite storybooks that you have at your house. And that is Brown Bear, What Do You See? So we're going to read this one together, and then you are going to practice it. So you don't have to read every single word correctly, but you already know what happens in this story. So we're going to practice together, and then you're going to have time to practice on your own. All right, I know that this says, Brown Bear, what do you see? I see a red bird looking at me. And then I'm using my connecting words. Red bird, what do you see? I see I don't remember what comes next. So I'm going to take a sneak peek. Oh, now my picture helped me to remember. I see a yellow duck looking at me. Yellow duck, what do you see? I see take a peek, blue bird, or a blue horse looking at me. Blue horse, what do you see? I see a green frog looking at me. Green frog, what do you see? I see a purple cat looking at me. So I only need a little reminder to help me remember what comes next. I can just take a little peek at the picture behind to help me remember what comes next in my favorite storybook. I see a white dog looking at me. White dog, what do you see? I see a black sheep looking at me. And then, black sheep, what do you see? I see a goldfish looking at me. And then, goldfish, what do you see? I see a teacher looking at me. Teacher, what do you see? I see children looking at me. Children, what do you see? We see a brown bear, a red bird, a yellow duck, a blue horse, a green frog, a purple cat, a white dog, a black sheep, a goldfish, and a teacher looking at me. That's what I see. And that's the end. So that was your practice together with me. Now it's going to be your turn to read Brown Bear by yourself. And as you're reading, go back to our target and our notes. Don't forget to remember what happens in the story. Use your retelling skills. You have heard this story before, so you know what happens. Say the words that you think would be on the page. If you get stuck, you have to use your pictures. Just take a sneak peek at your picture, and it will help you to remember what words should be on that page. All right, so go read your Brown Bear book, and then we will have a reflection. All right, I hope that you felt like awesome readers today as you read that story to yourself. Remember that you are a storybook reader. And right here we have our anchor chart that tells us that we look at the pictures, remember, and read. This is what makes us a storybook reader. Look, remember, and read. Okay, let's go back to our target. So did we look, remember, and read today? Yeah, I think we did that a lot with our Billy Goat Scruff and our Brown Bear text. We did that so that I can read an old favorite storybook, which we did, and I will know I've got it when I can look, remember, and read an old favorite storybook. So if you were able to read one of those old favorite storybooks, give yourself a pat on the back, a big thumbs up, and have an awesome day, readers.